Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Karen Perez here from the Great Oasis. Starting another project. Wanted to show you what we are working with and so you can know what the total transformation looks like. So here we go. Another small tight access backyard, but I really like these because even though they're small, you can create a real intimate setting. So right here we have this really cool patio hangout area. She's got some tables there. We got this nice little seating wall. And then we are going to move this oak tree because I just think it's going to be too much. There's like one here, one there, one there. By the time these things get big, they're just going to be overcrowding everybody and they're going to be throwing roots around our system. So we're going to take this one out and we're going to install a 10-foot pondless waterfall in this backyard space, and it's going to totally transform this outdoor seating area because not only do you have a nice hangout, but now you're going to get that nice sound, the beautiful sights of the water moving around, and we'll just kind of bring life into this space. It's going to be a much more desirable space to hang out, and I can't wait to see the difference. So stay tuned. That's what we got going on, and we'll update you as we come along. See you soon. Bye. Hey, what's up everybody? Karen Perez here from the Great Oasis. So yesterday we got started on our project. We got all the rocks and materials moved to the backyard. We got our excavation done for the reservoir. We got the whole reservoir completed. I really like when we can do that the first day of the project, go home, get rested, and then first thing in the morning, all our creative juices are flowing and we can really start to have fun with the artistic part. We come in here, we rush, we get all the materials moved to the back, and then we get the excavation done and we get the reservoir built. If you're moving really hard, you could do that like in the beginning half of the day, depending on the size of the project. We could probably knock that out before lunchtime. But then you're at the middle of the day, it's brutally hot because we're in Florida, so it never really gets cold. And then you're starting to kind of get a little bit tired, so that creativity is starting to wane. So I really like if we can get all of our rocks and materials moved to the back and get that prep work done so we can get a start at the beginning of the day, the next day, and have all that artistic freedom, all those creative juices. You're not tired, you're not sore or hurting already. We can really start to create something beautiful. So that's what we got going on today. Yesterday we got all that accomplished. I'll flip the camera around in just a second, show that to you. But I wanted to kind of show you in my head how the process goes so that way we can create something beautiful. I don't want it to seem like we're stressed out, we're on a timeline, even though everybody's always on a timeline, we're always on a time crunch, but I want to have that artistic creativity and freedom. And to me, I feel like that's the best way to do it. So I'm gonna put the camera around and show you what we did yesterday. So this is in my mind, a small project. This is just gonna be a 10-foot pondless waterfall. We've got our reservoir dug. We've got a big pile of rocks to play with. I always like to have extra. We can stage them throughout the property if we need to. But again, it gives you that creativity. If you just have enough rocks, then you have to use every rock, even if it's not the right rock. If you have extra rocks, then maybe that rock is not the right rock and you can pick something else. So I like to have a good selection. And again, we can always play with it and put it in the landscape or take it away if we just have too much. So did calculations. I'm estimated we're going to need 75 gallons of water reservoir capacity. This reservoir will hold 100 gallons, and the way that I come up with that process is I determine how much water is going to be what we call in motion. So from the top of that waterfall working its way down, how much water is moving, and then I take that number and I times it by 2 so that we always have plenty of water in our reservoir. I came up with that we needed 75, but if we do just 75, we're stuck to that number. If I do extra, that gives me some more freedom to, maybe I want to create some more pooling areas, or maybe meander that water through, and I can have that ability with a bigger reservoir. If I do just enough water capacity, then the problem is you're tied to that. So if you do too much creativity over here and you didn't plan for that in the reservoir, when you turn this system off, all that water's got to go somewhere, and it's going to come down here and overflow the system. And then the next time you turn it on, now it's got a little bit less, and then you turn it off and now it's got a little bit less. So we're trying to make it so that way we're not wasting water. We want to be water conscious. We want to be good stewards of our water. And that's the mindset. Also, by building the reservoir a little bit bigger on every project, if you can do bigger, it's always better. We could do 3 times or 10 times. But if you create a little bit more, when you get those rains, you're collecting some of that extra water. So now you're not topping off the system as much. And I really like that as an option if we can budget for that. So those are some things that I'm always thinking of when we're creating a water feature. It's not just let's build this, but we want to come at it from a sustainability aspect and from a mindset of what is going to be the best use. So just a lot of things to think about and process when you're designing a water feature, but it's better to do those on the front end than to forget about them and think about them on the tail end. It's much easier if we just do all this at the beginning, and then you don't have to worry about these things. So those are the thoughts that are running through this craziness. But luckily you don't have to think about that. All you're thinking about is you're about to have a beautiful water feature in your backyard. So stay tuned. We're about to transform this space. Hope you come back and watch the next videos. Bye. Hey guys, wrapping up another project. This one just turned out amazing, like they always do. Not to be arrogant or brag, but I really love how the final falls of this one turned out. It's just spectacular. I'm gonna get in the position of if you were sitting with us at this lounging spot and flip the camera around so you can enjoy. Talk about a presentation, guys, from just a plain backyard with just grass to this. I mean, how awesome is that? We've got like an initial 12-foot sheeting waterfall, just so beautiful. The color changing lights in the back. Working our way up, we've got kind of like an informal waterfall. It's just like these grooved and carved rocks that just look like they had to be formed by water. So we put those right there and have the water just washing through there. Love how those ones turned out. And then just kind of some meandering falls bringing our way up. And then at the top we just kind of have like a spring left where the water just comes out of the gravel and then works its way down. Lots of beautiful plants here. These are all going to be butterfly plants, so she can have a beautiful outdoor space that just welcomes the bees and butterflies. So we've got a lot of these taller plants. They'll get bigger, but they're going to be the flowering plants that the butterflies enjoy and the bees. We've also got some low ground covers. Those are called host plants, so those are going to be really cool because they're going to allow the butterflies to lay their larvae and their eggs on those, and the caterpillars will start munching away on those, and it just kind of creates that whole symbiotic nature. Everything's working together.